Man comes to old house, planning to pack up and sell the house. But he doesn't know, there's a spirit in this house. This immortal made a sudden gong. Can frighten men. Talk to you guys today. American high-scoring film, Time and Ghost. When the hero and heroine got married. Because the pocket is cleaner than the face. Therefore, the two did not even hold the ceremony. After years of hard work, the couple finally have some savings, so I decided to hold a wedding ceremony. The wedding scene was very lively. Their son, Mrs. Xiaozhang, hands the ring to the parents. The scene is warm and romantic, very touching. But there are unforeseen circumstances. The couple drove with Mrs. Zhang. On the way home, slippery road due to rain. Plus the male protagonist drives too fast. Accident by accident. Mrs. Xiaozhang hung up on the spot. 7 years later, the male and female protagonists, because of the death of Xiao Zhengtai, already divorced, but neither of the two come out of the shadows. The male protagonist works hard every day, just to keep my mind from resting. Think about the past. After get off work, the male protagonist visits the nursing home. Old man with dementia. The two saw an exclusive interview with the heroine on TV. It turned out that after the divorce from the husband, the heroine has been committed to the creation of novels. It has now become famous writer. Turn around. The man got a call from the real estate agent. It turned out to be after Xiaozhang died. In order not to see things and think of people, the man rented out the old house. But a pair of new tenants who just moved in, suddenly left without saying hello, and messed up the house. Male protagonist thinking, finally decided to sell the house. Before selling, the male protagonist returns to the old house to pack up, still kept at home. Lots of little Zhengtai's toys and objects. Look at everything that is familiar. The hero can't help but immerse himself in it again. In pain. Suddenly, upstairs, jingle sound. Startled the hero. He went upstairs to look around. Suddenly I heard someone knocking on the door. This woman is a psychic. The previous tenant had consulted with her. The psychic gave the male protagonist a business card. Say if you need anything, can contact her. After sending the psychic away, the man called his ex-wife and the woman. Said he wanted to sell the house. Asked the hostess not to come back to get something. While the two were talking, the door next door suddenly closed. Almost scared the hero's soul away. At the same time, the door to the next bedroom opened automatically. The man entered the house and looked, but found nothing. Now from the attic, a little Zhengtai's toy fell off. The hero climbs up to the attic. See, this is all put on it. Xiao Zhengtai's past toys. When he was blind, silhouette of a little boy suddenly disappeared. This can completely scare the male protagonist. He hurriedly turned on his phone to shoot. At this time, Xiao Zhengtai suddenly appeared. The male protagonist is frightened, accidentally fell from the attic. At that time, the people who fell were unconscious. When the hero wakes up, it's the next morning. He wanted to see what was being photographed. Too bad the phone broke. During a meeting at work, the hero is absent-minded. My mind is full of Xiao Zhengtai's figure. After the colleague restored the mobile phone data, the man was surprised to find a photo after he passed out. At first he thought it was the little loli next door, messing with his house. He also went to the little loli's mother, made a grumble. But when he went back to the house to continue packing, his son, Xiao Zhengtao, showed up. The hero is completely confused. He couldn't help reaching out to touch Mrs. But I didn't expect that Mrs. Xiaozhang could only see but not touch. An invisible force push him a somersault. Xiao Zhengtai shouted to find his mother. The male lead had to drive a car to meet the female lead. The hostess had been with a few years ago. A man with 2 daughters is married. Facing the arrival of the hero, the heroine is very impatient. Originally the male lead wanted to chat with the female lead. The matter of the son, Mrs. Xiaozhang, but the female lead refused to talk to the male lead. But the heroine finally came. Her and the male lead's former home. The male lead dragged the female lead upstairs. Xiao Zhengtai disappeared in a flash wearing a mask. This makes the hostess pissed off. She thought the male lead was deliberately find a child to stimulate her. When the wheel is rounded, go up and give it. Male protagonist. Then drive away. Turn around. The hero finds a psychic. I want to ask what happened to the appearance of Xiao Zhengtai. Psychic means, maybe Mrs. Xiaozhang has unfulfilled wishes, so it's too late to leave. Let the male lead go home and ask Mrs. What do you want? Xiao Zhengtai said that the male protagonist used to be before the wedding. Promised him. Buy him a little train that can run. And also strongly demanded to see his mother. The male protagonist had no choice but to go to the female protagonist again. The heroine follows the hero back home. This time I saw it for real. Mrs. Xiaozhang. This time, the memory of the heroine can be sealed. To open. To be with my son. A clear division of labor between female and male protagonists. The heroine writes at home during the day. By the way, accompany Mrs. Xiaojung. The male lead comes home from get off work at night to replace the female lead. To be with my son all day. The male protagonist finally resigned after thinking about it. After returning home, the hero and heroine quarreled when they disagreed. The day of the car accident 7 years ago, the female owner complained that the male owner was driving too fast, caused the accident. The male lead blames the female lead. Unbuckle Mr. Jung's seatbelt. Two people arguing. When it's noisy. Sudden chandelier on the ceiling, and the glass on the windows all shattered. It's all. Xiaojung is so fucking stupid. He doesn't want his parents to fight again. He wants the family to be the same as before. Kindness, love, and harmony. After such a toss, the relationship between the hero and heroine, it's starting to revive. The two are heart to heart. They all said their own words. Said that one day, when the heroine is with her son, there was a sudden movement upstairs. There seems to be something else in this house. At the same time, the heroine's nose began to bleed. This is obviously not a good sign. Turn around. The hostess went to the bedroom to find Mrs. I found that Xiao Zhengtai pointed to the corner and said that there was someone over there. The heroine turned her head and saw that she was so scared. But the man didn't see anything. Two people working in the kitchen at night. Reminds me of that familiar song. Emotions began to warm up quickly. To find out what evil spirits are in the house, the male protagonist invited the psychic over. Psychic means people and ghosts have different ways. We must hurry up and send Xiao Zhengtai away. But the heroine strongly disagrees. Although the traditional ghosts can't go out in broad daylight. But this film is not a pure horror. It's more about husband and wife, tenderness between parents and children. So where is Xiao Zhengtai wanting to go? No difference from normal children. In the process of accompany the child, the relationship between the male and female protagonists is heating up again. Originally, the hostess didn't stay overnight. But the revival of old love couldn't hold it. Now you've poked the hornet's nest. The heroine's second husband. I came here early in the morning to ask for my guilt. And speak harshly. Say their marriage. It's over. The heroine can't explain and can't explain. Had to drive home to get my luggage. When the male protagonist is playing with his son, Xiao Zhengtai told an amazing inside story. The day of the accident. It's not that the heroine didn't give her son fasten seatbelt. It's Mrs. Xiaojung herself. Unbuckled seatbelt. This is one of the reasons why Mrs. Xiaojung came back. He has to explain things. Let mom and dad clear up misunderstandings. Father and son are chatting. The heroine returned to the family with a suitcase. Next, let's talk about the evil spirit upstairs. To say that this great god is no one else, it's the mother who died. But the strange thing is that the male protagonist can't see it, because it is said that only the dying to see ghosts. The heroine has a nosebleed again, and passed out quickly. It turns out that the heroine had already had leukemia, but she never told the hero. Another reason why Mrs. Xiaojung came back this time, just to take my mother away. The happiness just lost. To gain and lose again. The hero's heart is broken. But whose life is not like this? Always leave when it's time to leave. Cherish the happiness in front of you. Although I can't keep. But try to feel all the good times. Everyone as a passerby. The result is not important, it is the experience. No regrets is enough.